How's it going, Parker? I'm John.
Nice to meet you, John.
Yeah,
Of
thanks for coming out today.
course, of course. Very
Yeah,
looking forward to speaking with you guys.
absolutely. Could you just tell me a little about yourself?
Well, yes, so my name is Parker Rickansrud, and I'm a junior at NC State University. And currently, I'm working as the equipment manager for the NC State football team. And I've had past experiences in other sport areas, such as like sponsorship, where I worked with not just the football team, but I worked with women's basketball, men's basketball, a little bit of baseball, and yeah, those are the main sports I worked with. So I got a lot of different kind of expertise in sports throughout my time at college so far. It's been
Nice. How's working with the NC State team? They're doing pretty good this year.
I know it's actually been incredible. It's been fun to watch, considering that the first 2 years that I was here was not as great.
Yeah, no, no, no.
By
So yeah, how
halftime,
did
the
you?
fans were not there.
Yeah, how did you hear about us?
Well, so I actually had this assignment for my one of my classes here at NC State, and it had us be able to look through different internships or opportunities for us to prepare and find jobs in sport. And I came across y'all's post on Indeed.com, and it really caught my attention, as I've always wanted to get an experience from a professional organization.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Could you tell me about a challenge that you've had at work and how you've overcome it?
Well, one of the main challenges is, if I have to be honest, when I was in high school, I did really good in high school. I got good grades, but sometimes my time management wasn't always the best. And so, really, a challenge that I faced in terms of working in sport is that nothing is ever just get it done as you do it. You have to have it done at a certain time frame, and if you don't have it, then it really destroys the rest of the process. So one challenge I have is working hard on pace, and working sport has definitely taught me how to work on pace and get things done fast and efficiently. Not just sloppy, but get it done well and get it done to where it uh, really suits the clients and makes everybody around me happy.
Yeah, that's good to hear you've learned from that. Now here's a weird question. What do you least like about your current position?
Well, in terms of being a part of the team and really being out there on the field as something I was not expecting when I signed up for the job. Because I'm assigned with to work with safeties and nickels out in the field, and I can't tell you how cool a feeling it is as a big football fan to be out there on the field working with the college guys and even the college coaches that I see on TV all the time. And so, but one of the things I least like about my current position is that really the sacrifice of time that I have to make for the job. As I'm a junior in college, I definitely kind of want to participate in college and have that college experience, but in the long term, I mean, I'll talk about this and for the days come, but what I really want to be is working for professional sports organizations someday. And so, what I least like is the time that I have to spend to do it currently, but I love doing the job, and that's really all that matters if it helps my future the best way possible.
Definitely, yeah. It seems like it puts you in a good position for it. So what motivates you?
Well, what motivates me is, well, it's just like ever since high school, it's always been pretty cool because I didn't think that I'd ever going to be able to go to NC State. It just wasn't something that came to my mind. I always looked at NC State and UNC as two big colleges. And so I kind of in the back of my head didn't think I'd ever be able to do it. And so if I really think about it, if someone told me my freshman year of high school that I'd be working as an equipment manager for the NC State football team, I don't know if I would have believed you. So the fact that I'm able to say that I'm here now is really freaking cool to me. And I think that motivates me to keep doing and keep pushing because it turns out that I can do a lot of stuff that I didn't think I was going to be able to do.
Yeah, that's great to hear. You never know where you'll end up.
Yes, sir.
So what's your speaking of where you're gonna end up? What's your dream job?
So my dream job would be to work for the Philadelphia Eagles someday, as that's my favorite football team. My dad grew up in South Jersey, and he was diehard, all Philly, baseball, football, hockey, basketball, you name it, it was all Philly. And so my dream job would be work for the Philadelphia Eagles football team in a front office position or anything I could get my hands on. I just feel like if I had a paying job for the Philadelphia Eagles, I just don't think anything that could be better than that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm an Eagles fan myself, so if you could get us back to the Super Bowl, that would be awesome.
Yes, sir. And if I'm capable, I should have to send you some tickets too if I end up making it.
Absolutely. What do you like to do outside of work?
Well, outside of work, I love spending time with my friends. And one of my favorite things we do is when we can get enough people to go play some sports outside, like get a big 6v6 football game or soccer or anything. And then watch football, of course. It's just always a good time being out with friends. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
use that
I
time
played
trying
I
to take
played
advantage.
cornerback in high school for football, so I definitely miss playing. I love going out playing flag football with the guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I was never allowed to play football because my parents always were too worried that I get hurt. So I had to stick to the sport of soccer that I played in high school, and I enjoyed soccer, but it was never like my passion. So I just played it because I was a little bit good at it, but I jumped out of it as soon as I could.
Yeah, it's a brutal sport. I mean, you see what happened to Dak Prescott.
Oh yes, I did, and I took that risk if it meant I got to put on the pads one time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure being an Eagles fan, it's like it's nice that the starting quarterback's out, but I honestly felt bad for Dak. He's a great competitor, great leader.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely admire the guy. It's kind of interesting as though that's what we Eagles fans are used to is injury after injury.
What piqued your interest in the Baltimore area?
Well, I think the area is absolutely beautiful. I've actually traveled to Baltimore numerous of times. Me, my dad, and my brother, we always go to South Jersey, hinting back over to why I like the Eagles. And so we always would stop in Baltimore and maybe stay there for a night, especially travel to a game. So I've been to the Baltimore Orioles facility. I've even watched them play the Washington Nationals in that stadium. And I absolutely loved being able to experience the baseball. The fan atmosphere was amazing. The team was just really good. It was so much fun to watch. And I've also been to some Baltimore Ravens games in the area back when the Ravens were in their first prime, when they got a Super Bowl win with Ray Lewis and Joe Flacco. And so, really, if I get to move to Baltimore, it'd be amazing. It's just anything that I can get an opportunity, I'll move wherever I need to.
Yeah, it's good to hear. It's a good area. So is baseball your favorite sport?
Actually, I've always kind of jumped around sports a little bit. As I was very young, I wasn't really into sports. I was more of a gamer on my Game Boy and DS all the time. As I
Pokemon.
got as I got older, baseball was the first sport that hit me when I hit in middle school. Phillies were doing amazing at the time, which is the Philadelphia's MLB team.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge Ryan Howard fan, and I played the baseball, but I quickly discovered that I was not a baseball player. And so, as much as I enjoy the sport of baseball, I definitely say that football has the number one spot. But I've always enjoyed the game, and I've always loved watching the game.
Yeah, good to hear. So do you have a previous sales experience?
I actually do not have a specific direct sales experience in sport, but I have worked as a in sponsorships and properties for Wolfpack, and that's where I got to experience a lot of different kind of things. Where I worked really into stadium operations, and one of the things that we do for Wolfpack properties is we'd set up the NC State fan zone that sat outside the NC State football game, and so we'd get there about 5 hours before game time, and we'd set up this whole facility for fans to participate in, and we'd have sponsors there, people like from Lowe's Foods and other places like that and whatnot. And I got to see them interact with customers, and even customers would come to me asking for advice about some of their things. So I really got to interact with customers a lot, and I know that's a big thing that comes with sales experience. So I don't have any direct sales experience, but I would really love to get some more hands-on sales experiences. I already have a lot of experience in the sports world itself. I feel like this experience would be a very beneficial opportunity for me to increase in that area.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Could you give an example of a time you've worked on a team?
Well, actually, in the two jobs that I've had in sport, I've had to work on teams in both jobs. So at Wolfpack Properties, I worked in a team of three, where me and two other coworkers who were also students at NC State at the time had to maneuver and set up this fan zone area, and then we also worked together in terms of picking people out for the halftime mini games on the field, and it was always having to be there right on time with each other, as we had like 4 minutes to find three people to be on the field because we didn't have an option for it to be any longer, have more time. That's just how it was because that's what we were called upon, and so we had to really work together to find those three people to be on the field. And moving on to my job as an equipment manager, there's 12 of us that are current equipment managers here at NC State, and we set up the entire football practice and we clean up the entire football practice. It's kind of crazy because as someone who didn't even know what an equipment manager was about 3 years ago, it's insane to see how much a football team runs on equipment manager. Because in my personal experience so far, if the NC State football team did not have their equipment managers, I don't know how they'd be moving. As we're the ones who uh, pack their entire truck, we get the players set up and ready to go. It's actually unbelievable what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Have you ever had a difficult coworker or think of a situation where someone was being difficult, and how'd you handle that?
Well, in terms of difficulty, I haven't had someone where I've really uh, corresponded with, but there definitely is when you work with so many different people and different jobs. You do experience personalities that sometimes you don't mesh with all the time. And so, usually for me, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I can really work around a lot of different people because do have a good patience. Is something I've grown to have as I've gotten older. And so, in terms of someone doesn't have a personality that matches mine, then I just kind of work around them. And if we have a conflict, then I will bring it up, but I'll bring it up in a manner to where it's very professional. I just say, hey, maybe this isn't the working the greatest. Is there a route that we can take that might be better? Or I always gently, because I want my opinions to be heard, so I always gently bring the opinion just if I think that it could be better. But if it's sometimes there's times when their opinion actually outbeats mine and I come to an understanding with them instead of the understanding that I previously had. So just working on a team in general has allowed me to really interact and figure out how to handle conflict with a difficult coworker.
Yeah, yeah, great answer. Have you ever made a risky decision?
Well, in terms of risky decision, I have to be honest. When I was coming into the equipment manager thing, I kind of felt like that was a risky decision, as I knew firsthand that going into it, I was going to have a lot of time taken off my hands, and that this was definitely going to be sacrificing a lot of my time here at NC State. But at the end of it all, that risky decision turned out to be well worth it. All the experience that I've been able to get just in the first month of doing this job has been something that I cannot ask for more of. And it's definitely been incredible. And I think it will definitely be beneficial for years to come in terms of pursuing careers in sport.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Well, it was great to have you, Parker. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
See ya.